I died, choking on my own blood. The taste of betrayal as metallic as the pills I'd swallowed, pills that weren't mine, slipped into my drink by the one person who'd sworn to love me forever. My sister's face was the last thing I saw, twisted not in grief, but in grim satisfaction. As she whispered, "It's all mine now, Lola." And then, nothing, until the world snapped back into focus, my heart pounding in a body that was mine again, but 20 years younger. Standing in Mom's sunlit kitchen in our old Brooklyn brownstone, the calendar on the wall screaming 2005, the year it all began to unravel. The hook of reincarnation isn't some ethereal glow or divine intervention. It's a gut-punch reset button jammed by whatever cruel cosmic joke runs this show. I blinked at my reflection in the toaster, smooth skin. No laugh lines etched from years of fighting for scraps. My 25-year-old self staring back like a ghost who'd hijacked her own life. Mom was alive, humming off-key to Sinatra on the radio, oblivious to the cancer gnawing at her from the inside, the one that would claim her in 6 months. And Mia, my big sister, the golden child with her perfect smile and sharper claws, was due home from her business trip in an hour. The first lie in a chain that would end with me penniless, framed, and dead. But this time, I wouldn't play the loyal fool. I'd rewrite the script, word for bloody word, and make her pay for every ounce of the empire she thought she'd stolen. The scent of fresh brewed coffee hit me like a lifeline, grounding me in this impossible second chance. Mom turned from the stove, her apron dusted with flour from whatever half-baked pie experiment she was attempting that morning. "Lola, honey, you look like you've seen a ghost." "Everything okay at the gallery?" Her eyes, still bright blue and full of that unshakable optimism.
Serket Mine.
The Brooklyn Art Collective. My dream job back then, curating exhibits for up-and-coming painters in a cramped loft space off Flatbush Avenue. It was the one thing I'd built for myself, away from the shadow of our family's crumbling real estate legacy.
Yeah. Ma.
Just a weird dream. I forced a smile, my voice steadier than I felt.
Inside,
my mind raced like a subway train at rush hour. In my first life, that dream would have been prophetic, Mia swooping in like a vulture, contesting Mom's will clause by clause, claiming undue influence because I'd been the one nursing Mom through chemo. She'd painted me as the manipulative daughter, the one who'd poisoned Mom's mind against her successful sibling. The lawsuit dragged on for years, bleeding me dry until I was evicted from the brownstone. My gallery shuttered, and in a haze of despair and bourbon, I'd overdosed on what the coroner ruled as antidepressants that weren't even prescribed to me. Mia's doing, of course, her sympathy gift, laced just enough to tip the scales. But the autopsy never caught it. No one did. She walked away with everything: the brownstone, the rental properties in Queens, the offshore accounts Dad had squirreled away before he bailed on us in '95. $500,000 turned into millions under her genius flips. And me, a footnote in the obit section of the Daily News. Not this time. I poured myself a mug, black and scalding, letting it burn my tongue as penance for the years I'd wasted trusting her. Mia was 32 then, already climbing the ladder at a cutthroat Manhattan firm, Green and Associates, specializing in probate law. Of all ironies, she'd always been the smart one, the one who aced Columbia Law while I scraped by on scholarships and waitressing gigs. Family first, she'd say, linking arms with me at barbecues, her laugh like wind chimes over the East River.
Lies.
All of it. The front door creaked open at precisely 10:17 a.m., right on schedule. "Sisters," Mia's voice, honeyed and performative, echoed through the hall. She breezed in, designer tote slung over one shoulder, her auburn hair in that effortless bob that screamed, "I wake up like this." Hugs followed, mine stiff, hers enveloping, her perfume cloying as cheap regret.
God.
"Lola, you need to get out more. That artist's loft vibe is turning you into a hermit," Mom beamed, oblivious.
Mia.
"Tell us about the conference." Lola's been dying to hear. As Mia launched into tales of schmoozing with bigwigs in Chicago, I watched her like a hawk, every flick of her manicured hand, every calculated pause for effect. In my old life, I'd eaten it up, proud of her ascent. Now, I saw the cracks, the way her eyes darted to Mom's frail form, appraising like a realtor eyeing a fixer-upper. The properties, our inheritance from Dad's shady deals, were already in her crosshairs. She'd advise Mom to sell the brownstone for a quick flip, then tie up the rest in trusts that favored her stability. Lola. Earth to Lola. Mia's foot nudged mine under the table. "You zoning out on us? Spill. What's the latest drama at the gallery?" I met her gaze, forcing warmth into my smile. "Oh, you know. Some hotshot painter thinks his abstract nudes are the next Pollock. Jury's out. Small talk. The grease that kept family gears turning. But underneath, my plan coalesced, sharp as a switchblade. Step 1. Document everything. I'd start tonight, digging into Dad's old files in the attic, the ones Mom had boxed away after his abandonment. There were whispers back then, rumors of embezzlement, falsified deeds that Mia had buried deep in her first takeover. Lunch stretched into afternoon chatter, Mom's garden club gossip, Mia's latest conquest, a junior partner named Trent, disposable as tissues. I nodded along, laughing at the right beats, but my mind was a war room. By evening, as they clinked wine glasses on the back porch overlooking the tiny fenced yard, I excused myself to unpack from a non-existent trip. Upstairs, in my childhood room with its faded Yankees posters and Dust Bunny regrets, I fired up the ancient Dell laptop Mom had bought me for college. Password: Sisters Forever. Pathetic. Emails first, subtle probes to old contacts from the gallery, fishing for leads on probate attorneys who'd go toe-to-toe with Mia's firm. Then, the real dig, scanning yellow documents from the attic. Dad's scrawled notes on property liens. Hints of a hidden trust he'd set up for Mom alone.
Contingent on blood ties.
Blood ties. That was the thread I'd pull. The one leading to the secret Mia had killed to keep. It hit me like a freight train at 2 a.m., scrolling through a grainy photo Dad had tucked into a ledger. Mom, young and radiant, holding 2 baby girls. But the second one, the one labeled Mia, had a notation in his chicken scratch. Adopted. Keep quiet. For her sake. Adopted. Mia wasn't blood. She'd known. Of course, confronted Dad before he split. Used it to leverage her way into the firm. Into everything.
But Mom?
She'd died believing the lie. Leaving a will that split everything 50/50ths between her daughters. In my first life, Mia had forged the adoption papers, buried them in court filings, painted me as the gold digger trying to disenfranchise her. The judge bought it, hook, line, and sinker. This time, I'd unearth the truth before she could bury it again. Dawn broke gray over the rooftops, and I slipped downstairs, the photo burning a hole in my pocket, Mom was at the breakfast nook, flipping through seed catalogs, her cough muffled behind a napkin. Up early. Kiddo. Couldn't sleep. I slid into the seat across from her, heart hammering. Controversial decision number 1. Shatter the illusion now, or let it fester.
Ma.
There's something I need to ask about, Dad. Her eyes sharpened, the catalogs forgotten. Lola. Whatever it is, it's water under the bridge. He left us high and dry, literally, with those properties eating taxes like candy. I pulled out the photo, sliding it across the Formica. Not everything. Look at the back. She studied it, her face crumpling like tissue paper. Oh,
God. Mia.
she knew. Tears welled, but I held her gaze. He told her.
Ma.
Before he left.
And
She's using it. Against us. Against you. The kitchen fell silent, save for the tick of the wall clock. Mom's hand trembled as she traced our tiny faces. My girls. I wanted you both to have it all.
No Fabrizio.
You did.
Ma.
But Mia's playing a different game. I leaned in, voice low. We need to protect what's yours. Rewrite the will, blood only. Make it ironclad. Her nod was slow, resolute. For you, Lola. Always for you. By noon, we'd called in a notary from the neighborhood, old Mr. Kowalski, who'd handled Dad's messes back in the day. As he stamped the codicil excluding non-biological heirs, I felt the first thrill of vengeance, not hot rage, but cold, calculated justice. Mia would arrive for Sunday dinner tomorrow, all smiles and stories. She'd sense the shift, like a shark smelling chum. But she wouldn't know the hook was already set. That night, as rain pelted the windows, I lay awake plotting phase 2, infiltrate her world. I'd apply for an internship at Green & Associates, use my art history degree as a pivot to legal research. Get close, learn her moves, plant the seeds of her downfall. It was risky, borderline unethical, impersonating enthusiasm for her cutthroat realm. But hey, in America, ambition's just another word for survival. The next morning, Mom's cough worsened, a wet rattle that sent ice through my veins. Chemo loomed, the beast we'd fight again. But this time, I wouldn't do it alone, broke and begging. Mia pulled up in her shiny Acura at 6 p.m. Sharp, arms laden with takeout from Junior's, cheesecake as camouflage. Happy Sunday, she chirped, pecking cheeks. But her eyes narrowed at the notary envelope on the sideboard. What's this? Ma's spring cleaning. Mom's smile was steel. Just tidying up loose ends.
Dear.
Dinner unfolded like a minefield, laughter over cheesecake, undercurrents of suspicion. Mia grilled me about the gallery. Any big sales?
Low?
You could use a boost, and I fed her just enough to whet the appetite. Actually, thinking of switching gears.
Law sounds
intriguing. Her laugh tinkled. You? In my world, you'd eat it up. If only she knew. As she drove off into the dusk, I turned to Mom. It'll be okay. She squeezed my hand. I know, baby. Because you're the fighter. Fighter.
Yeah.
And this fight was just getting started. The internship application went in Monday morning, greased by a forged reference from a gallery board member I'd charmed with coffee and flattery. Green and Associates loomed like a glass monolith on Park Avenue. All chrome and entitlement. The kind of place where interns fetched dry cleaning and dreams got shredded in the copy room. By Wednesday, Mia's email pinged my inbox. Lo, heard you're gunning for us. Pull some strings?
Kidding mostly.
Interview Friday, 2 p.m. Wear something sharp.
Sharp.
Like her tongue. I raided Mom's closet for a pencil skirt and blouse that screamed, aspiring professional, not starving artist. The subway ride uptown was a blur of fluorescent ads for mesothelioma lawyers. Ironic, given Mom's diagnosis. Stepping into the lobby, all marble and hushed echoes. I felt the weight of my dual life, grieving daughter by night, corporate spy by day. Mia met me at reception. Her office a corner suite with Hudson views and awards gleaming like trophies from a rigged game.
Sis.
Right on time. She air-kissed. Then launched into the tour. Paralegals hunched over laptops. Associates barking into phones. Partners gliding like sharks in bespoke suits. Probate's where the real money is, she confided, ushering me into a conference room. Wills. Estates. People fight dirty over dirt. The interview was a cakewalk. Her questions laced with nepotism. Why law? Lola? Tired of finger painting. I leaned forward, channeling every TED Talk I'd binge-watched in my old life. Art's subjective. Law's about truth, uncovering what's hidden, making it stick. Her eyes lit up. Predatory. Hired on the spot. Starting next week as research grunt. Phase 2. Engaged. Back home. Mom was napping. Chemo's first round sapping her like a vampire. I tucked the blanket around her, whispering promises to the empty room. The brownstone felt smaller now. Walls closing in with memories, Dad's ghost stories by the fireplace. Mia and I building forts from couch cushions. Lies upon lies. Work commenced with the subtlety of a sledgehammer. My desk was a cubicle in the bowels of the 12th floor, buried under case files and coffee rings. First assignment, dig into a contested will for a Park Slope widow. Echoes of our own saga. I devoured precedents, cross-referencing with Dad's old ledgers smuggled in my tote. Patterns emerged. Mia's firm specialized in creative interpretations, bending rules like pretzels for high rollers. By week 2, I was Mia's shadow, fetching her lattes while eavesdropping on client calls.
Yes.
Mr.
Hargrove.
We can challenge the competency clause. Dementia makes everything fair game. Her voice. Silk over steel. One evening, as she prepped for a deposition.
I accidentally knocked over her Rolodex.
Cards scattering like confetti. Among them, a yellowed index for Family Matters, cross-reference to our last name. Rossi. Heart in my throat. I snapped photos with my flip phone. Grainy but damning. That night, in the brownstone's dim basement, I pieced it together. Mia's notes from 95. Post-Dad's exit. Adoption sealed. Leverage. Full share.
Eleanor.
She'd blackmailed him into signing over proxies for the properties. Then buried the adoption in a Cayman trust. Mom's will. A ticking bomb she'd planned to defuse with tears and lawyers. Controversial decision 2. Confront her subtly. Plant out. Over takeout tie in her office. Her treat. Always her treat. I broached it. Hey. Remember Dad's stories about this secret sister?
Wild.
Right? Mia's chopsticks paused midair. Her smile a fraction too tight. Ancient history.
Low.
Why dredge it up? Just. Mom's been reminiscing. the properties, the will stuff. Makes you think. She laughed it off, but her eyes were daggers. You're sweet, worrying about fairy tales. Focus on the grind here. You're killing it.
Killing it.
If she only knew. Mom's treatments intensified, her hair shedding like autumn leaves, but her spirit held. We'd walk the promenade at dusk, her arm in mine, plotting like generals. Change the locks after I'm gone, she'd say.
Fierce.
Don't let her waltz in. I won't.
Ma.
But grief gnawed at me, sharper now, with foreknowledge. In my first life, she died alone in hospice. Mia too busy with closings, me scraping rent from sublets. This time, I was there for every needle, every nausea wave, holding her hand through the fog. October bled into November, leaves turning the streets to fire. At the firm, I uncovered more. Mia's side hustle, funneling estate fees into shell companies tied to Dad's old cronies. One file, buried in archives, detailed a '98 forgery, falsified deed on our Queen's duplex, signed with Mom's signature while she grieved Dad. Mia's work, pre-law school, her internship gift to the partners. I copied it all, emailing encrypted zips to a burner account. Allies formed unwittingly, a mousy paralegal named Jess, disillusioned with the firm's ethics, who slipped me passwords over vending machine chats. Mia's ruthless, she'd whisper. Climbed over bodies. Thanksgiving loomed. A minefield of turkey and tension. Mom insisted on hosting. Her chef had defiant. Mia arrived with Trent in tow. All bromance handshakes and charm. Family reunion, he boomed. Oblivious. Dinner was a masterclass in subtext. Mia's barbs about my glamourless internship. Mom's pointed toasts to blood that binds. I countered with wine-fueled anecdotes from the firm, dropping hints about shady precedents without naming names. Post-feast, as dishes clattered, Mia cornered me in the pantry. What's with the attitude? Lola? Mom's acting weird, paranoid. Even. I met her stare, feigning concern. Just the meds. Maybe. Or Dad's ghost rattling chains. Her hand gripped my wrist, nails digging crescents. Drop it. Some secrets stay buried. The threat hung like smoke, but I twisted free.
Smiling.
Always.
Cease.
That night, alone with my laptop, I drafted the counteroffensive, anonymous tips to the Bar Association, seated with just enough to trigger audits without fingering me. Controversial? Hell yes. Whistleblowing from within. Risking my cover. But justice in America isn't polite. It's a street fight with gavels. December dawned bitter. Mom's scans showing spread. Mia ramped up her visits, all concern and contingency plans. We should talk estate planning.
Ma.
Lola's green, let me handle. Mom's laugh was a rasp. I've got it covered.
Dear.
Lola's my rock. The fracture widened. At work, Jess flagged a memo. Mia prepping a pro bono consult for Mom's will, unprompted, unsolicited. She was circling, scenting weakness. New Year's Eve. I hosted a low-key bash at the gallery, schmoozing donors for a buffer fund. Eyes on the firm's holiday party across town where Mia would network her news. Trent cornered me via text. Heard you're interning. Mia says you're a natural. Natural-born Avenger. Maybe. As fireworks cracked over the bridge, I toasted silently to the year ahead. Exposure. Collapse. Catharsis. Mom raised her ginger ale from her armchair. Weak but wicked. To second chances. She didn't know how right she was.
But Mia?
She'd learn soon enough. January 2006 hit like a blizzard, blanketing Brooklyn in white silence that mirrored the chill in our home. Mom's good days dwindled. Her bed the throne from which she directed the chaos. Home aides shuffling in with fur poles. Me juggling from hours and chemo runs. Mia's calls spiked. How's Ma holding up? Need me to swing by. Each laced with that lawyerly lilt. Probing for openings. At Green and Associates. I burrowed deeper. A mole in pinstripes. Assigned to Mia's team on a high-profile estate battle, a Tribeca loft contested by feuding siblings, I watched her orchestrate the win. Suppress emails.
Coach witnesses.
Bury the loser in motions till they folded. Masterful.
Terrifying.
See.
Low? It's chess.
Not checkers, she'd say. Clinking coffee mugs post-victory.
Chess.
I'd play pawn or queen, then flip the board. The secret festered. That adoption photo. Now digitized and stashed on a USB in my safe deposit box at Chase Manhattan. I'd cross-checked with vital records at the courthouse, slipped in during lunch. Forging a research excuse.
Mia Rossi.
Born Michelle Hargrove. Surrendered at a midtown clinic in '73. Dad's a fair baby? No. Adopted through a shady agency tied to his real estate scams. Mom had taken her in at 5. Raising her as blood to save her from foster roulette. Noble.
Doomed.
Mia's leverage? Eternal. She'd confessed to me once. Drunk on Cosmopolitans at our 21st birthday bash, Dad promised me half if I kept quiet. Blood or not. It's mine. I'd hugged her then. The trusting idiot. Now, fuel for the fire. Controversial decision 3. Ally with the enemy. Or ex-enemy. Trent. Mia's flavor of the month. But in my old life, he'd dumped her post-inheritance. Spilling beans to tabloids for a quick buck. I bumped into him at a firm mixer, spilled Merlot on his tie.
Classic ron com setup. Shit. Sorry.
Let me. He grinned. All teeth and testosterone.
No harm.
Lola.
Right?
Mia's kid sis. The artist turned suit. We chatted. Me playing coy. Him spilling office dirt. Mia's temper. Her shortcuts on files. By night's end, numbers exchanged for dry cleaning reimbursement. Phase 3. Cultivate the loose lip. Mom's decline accelerated. March bringing fevers and phantom pains. Hospice talks loomed, but she waved them off. Not yet. I want spring. We planted tulips in the yard. Her hands shaking in the soil. Me promising blooms she'd never see. Guilt twisted like thorns. Reincarnation's gift was time. But not enough. Mia's facade cracked at Easter brunch. Trent absent. Work emergency. She arrived solo. Eyes shadowed. Ma looks rough. We need to discuss. Arrangements. Mom's gaze was arctic from her wheelchair. Arrangements are set.
Mia.
Trust Lola. The air thickened. Mia's fork clattered. What the hell does that mean? I'm the lawyer here. I intervened. Smooth as bourbon. Easy.
Sis.
Ma's just cautious. Properties are tricky. Remember Dad's liens? Her face blanched, then hardened. Don't lecture me on Dad. Post-meal. She dragged me to the foyer. What's going on? Mom's excluding me? Feign ignorance. Excluding?
Nah. Just.
Clarity. Her whisper was venom. Watch yourself, Lola. Blood's thicker than you think. Thicker with lies. Maybe. April showers brought audits. My anonymous tips bore fruit. Bar Association inquiries into Green's probate practices. Fingers pointing at junior partners like Mia. She raged in team meetings, blaming disgruntled clerks. I kept my head down, volunteering for overtime, earning her trust like a Trojan horse. Trent proved pliable. Coffee dates morphed to drinks at dive bars off Wall Street, where he'd vent. Mia's obsessed with this inheritance gig. Thinks it's her birthright. I nodded, probing gently. Family drama? He shrugged. 3 beers deep. Her bio dad's some ghost, says it fuels her fire. But man, the pressure. Bio dad. Hargrove. I googled it, obit from 89. Small-time hustler like our dad. No wonder the adoption sting. Sympathy flickered. Unbidden, then died. She'd chosen betrayal. Mom's last good week. We hosted a girls' night. Just us 3. Candles and Cabernet in the parlor. Mia softened, reminiscing. Prom dresses. Stolen Marlboros. We were unbreakable, she said, clinking glasses. Mom's eyes glistened. We still are. But truths. They surface. The room stilled. Mia's laugh was brittle. Philosophy now? Pass the cheese. But the seed sprouted. Next day, she cornered Mom alone. I stepped out for groceries. Timing it perfect. Overheard from the stoop. Ma. The will, it's not fair. Lola gets it all. Mom's voice. Frail but firm. Fair's what I decide.
Mia. You know why.
Silence. Then sobs, real ones. Because I'm not. Yours? The door slammed. Mia stormed past me on the sidewalk, tears streaking mascara. Stay out of it, Lola. I didn't. That night, as Mom slept, I texted Trent. Drinks? Need advice. He met me at a Williamsburg speakeasy. All exposed brick and bluesy jazz. Trouble in paradise, he teased. Family imploding. I slid the adoption photo across the scarred table. Mia's not who she says. His eyes widened. Holy shit. Does she know you have this? Not yet.
Lies.
But the will's contested. Help me understand the angles. Trent, ever the opportunist.
Bit.
This could tank her career. Forgery traces. Ethical breaches. We plotted over whiskeys, leaked to the press post Mom's passing. Frame it as whistleblower justice. Controversial as hell, using her boyfriend as a pawn. Risking exposure. But vengeance isn't clean. It's American grit. Bootstraps laced with spite. May arrived with lilacs and last rites. Mom slipped into morphine dreams. Her hand in mine as monitors beeped lullabies. Love you. Fighter, she murmured. Love you more. And I did this time.
Truly.
She passed on the 15th, dawn light gilding the room like a benediction. Mia arrived late, disheveled from a red eye, collapsing at the bedside.
Ma.
No. We buried her in Greenwood, under budding oaks. The plot Dad had prepaid. Eulogies flowed, neighbors on her pies. Me on her laugh. Mia's? A choked she was everything. Funeral reception at the brownstone, casseroles and condolences. Mia cornered me in the study. The reading tomorrow. Don't fuck this up. Her eyes were wild. makeup caked over grief. Wouldn't dream of it. That night, alone with the will, I traced Mom's signature. Blood only.
Me sole heir.
The trap snapped shut. Tomorrow, the war began in earnest. The lawyer's office on Montague Street smelled of old money and older grudges, polished oak panels, leather chairs that creaked like confessions. Mr. Kowalski, notary turned executor, cleared his throat as Mia and I settled across the desk. Her in power black. Me and Mom's pearl necklace, like armor. Ladies, Evelyn's wishes are clear. The envelope slid open. Pages rustling like dry leaves. Assets tallied. Brownstone. 3 rentals. Liquid $450,000. The hidden trust surfacing at last. Dad's guilt payout. $200,000 more. To Lola Rossi. In full. Mia's name? Absent. Her gasp was theatrical. This is a joke. Undue influence. Lola. You manipulated her, chemo brain. Vulnerability. Kowalski's brow furrowed. The codicil was notarized. Witnessed. Competent at signing. Mia bolted up. Chair scraping. Bullshit. I'm contesting. File today. Green and Associates. My team. I met her blaze with calm. Do what you must, sis. Truth outs. She stormed out, tires squealing into traffic. Phase 4. Endure the siege. The lawsuit hit like monsoon. Papers serve at the gallery. Reporters sniffing probate porn. Rossi sisters feud over fortune, screamed the Post. Mia's filings were a masterpiece of malice, alienation of affection, fraud, even elder abuse claims, painting me as the Svengali daughter who'd isolated Mom. Depositions loomed, discovery a dragnet for my motives. Green's hulls buzzed. Mia reassigned me to unrelated grunt work. Her smiles venomous. Personal's personal.
Low.
Don't mix. But I did. Nights blurred into research marathons. Allying with a scrappy solo attorney from Bed-Stuy, Elena Vasquez, who'd clawed her way through family court hell. We'll countersue for defamation, she growled over diner coffee. And that adoption? Dynamite. Controversial decision for go nuclear. Leak the photo to a Post stringer. Anonymous. Timed for mid-trial heat. Ethics be damned. America loves a scandal. And Mia's empire would crumble under it. Summer sweltered. The brownstone a fortress. Tenants in the rentals grumbled as Mia's motions froze rents. Her stalling tactic to bleed me. Gallery sales tanked under the spotlight. I sublet my loft. Crashing on Elena's couch amid law tomes and takeout boxes. Trent proved golden or fool's gold. We'd meet in shadows. His guilt over Mia's stress loosening tongues. She's digging dirt on you, old boyfriends. That 05 DUI you beat. I'd wiped that slate in my first life. Now, it was ammunition. Help me plant a flag, I urged. Testify to her. Inconsistencies. He wavered, then nodded. For you, Lola. You're real. Affair? Tempting. But no vengeance over vice. Still, his pillow talk yielded gold. Mia's Cayman slush fund. Siphoned from past estates. Elena's PI tailed it to Hargrove ties, her bio kin. Small-time crook's dad had laundered for. Trial date set for September. Brooklyn Supreme, a coliseum of fluorescent fate. Pre-trial maneuvers flew. Mia's motion to suppress the codicil denied. My subpoena for her financials granted. She cornered me in the ladies' room pre-hearing. Makeup flawless. Voice fractured. End this. Lola. Walk away with a third. We split like sisters.
Sisters.
The word curdled. Blood says otherwise. Her slap echoed off tiles, sharp, shocking.
You bitch.
I built this family. You tore it down. I touched my cheek. Red blooming. See you in court. The leak dropped Labor Day weekend. Heiress hidden past. Adoption forgery in Rossi Rift. The post splashed it. Photo blurred, but damning. Mia's phone exploded. Green suspended her pending review. Trent texted. She's unraveling. Call me. I didn't. Instead, I prepped with Elena, scripting my testimony, Mom's final wishes, the attic discoveries, Mia's preemptive strikes. Jurors would eat the betrayal narrative, underdog artist versus slick lawyer. Opening arguments dawned crisp. Courtroom packed with rubberneckers and a post-sketch artist. Mia's lead, a silver fox partner, painted me villain. Greed poisoned this bond. Elena countered fierce. Truth heals. Lies kill. Witnesses paraded. Kowalski on the will's validity. Neighbors on Mom's lucidity. Tenants on Mia's pressure tactics. Then Trent, nerves jangling, but solid.
Mia discussed.
Altering documents. Joked about it. Objection. Sustained. But the seed stuck. My turn on the stand. First person raw. Tears real. She was my sister. But she poisoned that for money. The adoption reveal landed like a gut punch. Gasps rippling. Mia's cross? Vicious. You hated my success.
Didn't you?
Jealous little artist.
No. Mia.
I locked eyes. I hated your lies. Recess buzzed. She passed me in the hall. Whisper hot. You'll regret this. Doubt flickered. Was I the monster now? Dragging family filth public? Controversial to the core. Airing laundry in legalese. But Mom's voice echoed. Fighter. Closing arguments hammered home. Elena's plea for justice. Mia's partner's dodge of the forgery specter. Jury deliberated 2 days. Agony in a German coffee. Verdict dropped October 3rd. Leaves swirling outside like confetti. We fined for the plaintiff. Lola Rossi. Will stands.
Pandemonium. Mia esse shriek. Gavel ban.
My knees buckling into Elena's hug. Reporters swarmed. I slipped out a side door. Gulping autumn air. Victory? Pyrrhic. With Mom gone. Family ash.
But Mia?
Ruined. Bar probe escalated to disbarment hearings. Cayman accounts frozen. Trent bolted.
Spilling more to People Mag.
She called once. Voicemail slurred. You won. Happy now. Not happy.
Hollow.
But just. Twist waited in the wings. November's chill seeped into the brownstone like regret. The lawsuit's dust settling into a new normal. Me. Sole owner of a fixer-upper life. Tenants paid up. Gallery revived with probate pity donations. Elena's fee? Contingency. Her cut from a countersuit settlement. Mia ponied up $150,000 to bury the defamation deeper. Green cut her loose. A quiet exit masked as mutual. Tabloids moved on to Brangelina splits. I reclaimed anonymity. Curating exhibits on fractured legacies as therapy. But vengeance's aftertaste is ash. Nights. I'd wander the empty halls. Mom's ghost in every creak. Her sewing machine silent in the corner. The inheritance? Liquidated smart. Properties flipped ethically. Funds seeding a scholarship for single moms at the gallery. Mom would have approved. Mia vanished post-verdict. Radio silence broken only by a certified letter. I hate you.
But.
Sorry. No return address.
Just a PO.
Box in Reno. PI traced her to a casino waitressing gig. Biodad's old stomping grounds. Rock bottom. Self-inflicted. Trent ghosted me too. Chasing starlets. No loss. Then, the twist, the one reincarnation couldn't predict. December 2nd. Snow dusting the stoop. A knock rattled the door. I opened to a girl. 18 maybe. Parka zipped to chin. Eyes Mia's sharp hazel. Haunted. Aunt Lola. Her voice trembled. Breath fogging the air.
I'm Sarah.
Mia's daughter. Daughter. The secret within the secret.
Mia.
Pregnant at 20. Surrendered?
No, hidden.
Raised by Hargrove kin till they OD'd last year. Mom said. Find you. After. I ushered her in. Cocoa steaming as she spilled. Mia's teen slip-up. Dad's cover-up tying her to the family web. She wanted me safe. Away from the mess.
The mess.
Our mess. Sarah clutched a locket Mom's. Engraved daughters. Mom gave it before she left. Said blood calls. Not blood, Mia's choice. Redemption's thread. She hadn't poisoned me that night in my first life. Despair had. Self-inflicted after the lawsuit's grind. Mia's gift? Unlaced. Just misplaced pills in grief's fog. The betrayal? Mutual. Amplified by lies we both swallowed. Tears came. Hot and unbidden. Stay, I said. Build something new. Spring thawed us. Sarah enrolled at Pratt. Art major like me. Her sketches fierce as forgotten dreams. The brownstone echoed with laughter again. Two sisters, mending fractures. Mia surfaced once. A collect call from Vegas. Taking care of my girl? Yeah, I whispered. Like family, no lawsuit collapse, just life's pivot. Reincarnation's true revenge? Not ruin, but rewrite. I lived, loved, curated chaos into beauty. Mom's fighter, after all. And in quiet moments, by the window overlooking the river, I'd toast the skyline to second chances, blood or borrowed. In America, that's the real inheritance.